tonight's forecast is fusion followed by pain. But let's just go in. Now, one of our number is sick, but I'm not going to be using her for the boss anyway, so that should be fine. I'm also going to need to really sort out everyone's equipment before we go in. But first, I'm actually going to do some stuff in the Velvet Room. Because a new method of fusion has just been unlocked, and with it, we can actually finish a request that we couldn't do before. Though firstly, I just want to check something. I need at least 3 empty slots on my my persona list. And I do have 3 empty slots. So, you might notice here that cross and pentagon spreads have been added. Now, actually, wait, no, I'll show this first. So, these work very differently to normal and triangle spread. So, these ones, you can only do very specific combinations. So, these are all, like, specific things that are pre-prescribed, you can't do them any other way. They're basically like fusion recipes in a way. So we have a Hierophant persona here that is Genbu, Seiryu, Suzaku, and Byakko. Now, this is actually the ultimate Hierophant persona. This would not show up here if we hadn't maxed the Hierophant link. Similarly, this Hermit one, Omoikane, Take Minakata, Okuninushi, and Kikuri Hime, this is actually the ultimate Hermit persona, Arahabaki. So, again, this would also not show up here if we hadn't maxed that link. These other ones, though, these ones are not ultimate personas, so we can do these at any time. We've got this full one, King Frost, Jack Frost, Pyrojack, and Queen Mab. That's the one we're going to be focusing on now. We also have this Moon one, which we might also be able to focus on. Gur, Rangda, Vetala, and Taraka. I have all of those except for Gur, so I'll need to fuse that one. And then this Death persona. While this is not an ultimate persona, it is required for one, and this is actually the reason why Nata Taishi is so important. Because without Nata Taishi, you can't fuse this persona. Without this persona, you can't fuse something very, very important. Now, there's also the Pentagon spread, which are 5-way fusions. They work pretty much the same way. Here we've got a Hierophant one that's Mithra and all 4 Mitamas. This is a really, really nice fusion. I'm going to get to this later, trust me. A Judgment persona that, well, if you look at the names of all those personas in there, yeah, sounds like something pretty ominous. Ironically, I actually don't like this Judgment persona as much as one of its components. Hallel is, well, we'll be seeing Hallel later, but Hallel is one of the most powerful personas in the game. And this thing. This tower persona. Incubus, Mott, Pazuzu, I'm not going to try and pronounce that, and Assus. This is one of the most infamous personas in the game. Sadly, I'm actually going to have to fuse this later, because I need it for an ultimate weapon. But anyway, the first one that we're going to do is, we're going to go into the requests, and then compendium, because finally, we can... I have not registered any of you yet. Okay, might as well do that. So, I'm actually going to go into the compendium first. So, we're going to need Pyrojack, who still has a hard item that I don't actually have yet, Jack Frost, and Queen Mab, who's in Lovers. And then I'm going to accept the request. I'm going to need to accept this request after I leave Tartarus, because I don't want to miss that. But I still don't have this. I grinded here for about 4 hours, and I still have not seen this at all. So, it is not that one. Create Black Frost. So don't confuse it with any other Frost, but we do need all 3 of the other Frosts in order to do this. So, with these personas, if we go into fuse personas, Igor specifically makes a comment if you have the requirements for a cross or pentagon fusion. So, if we go into cross spread, we can now fuse Black Frost using these 4. Black Frost is a full persona, so it's going to be inheriting pretty much any skill possible from any of these 4. How did King Frost get Distress Boost? I forget. I think I lost something useful for that. Anyway, I kinda don't really care about what I get on Black Frost, because Black Frost actually isn't all that amazing. Black Frost is actually really good in P4. In P4, it absorbs both fire and ice, and has no weaknesses, but here it's not fantastic. Yeah, I don't really care about the skills. And being a full persona, it's never needed for any social link. But, at least it's time to fuse this thing. Probably shouldn't have skipped the animation. But yes, we now have Black Frost. A commenter said something quite funny, that Black Frost can basically be summed up as, "It's not a phase, Mom, it's who I am." But yeah. Marakund is nice though. Don't think I really need this. I don't need Dia either. Gale Slash! Okay, that's actually alright. And that would give me Instant Escape, which I don't consider a particularly amazing skill, but it's better than Repatra. And that's all. Mataru Kaja is the next skill, which is pretty nice. But, yeah, sadly, Black Frost is not all that fantastic. Like I said, he's a lot better in P4. Also, there's no hilarious story behind Black Frost in this game. Yeah, that moment in P4 is pretty good. So yes, now we have Black Frost. Yes, there are, and we're going to be making another one of them right now, actually. So we get the Wizard's Mark, which is a better version of the Mage's Mark. And, yeah, today is the absolute earliest that you can get that, because you can't go to Tartarus any of the other days, and the 18th is when the 4-way fusion unlocks. So anyway, yeah, Weakness to Light is not good either, so yeah, sadly Black Frost is not that amazing. In this game, at least. But completing that unlocks a new request, and this one we can actually also do now. We need to make Girimehkala, which she's not going to explain much about how to make this, but it's another one of these, 4-way fusions. And we're actually going to be needing a Moon Persona relatively soon, so it's a good thing we start this. So, I'm going to need to spend quite a bit on Compendium, actually. So, I do have Rungda, who I want to keep. I just want to see what Black Frost makes. Can I make anything kind of useful? Oh yeah, that guy. Actually, what do you do? Although I do need Strength. Null Distress. First time I've seen that ability, I think. But, yeah, nothing amazing. I might actually just have to dismiss Black Frost, because I need 4 Personas to even... I actually will need to dismiss Black Frost, actually. Although I do have Ragnar already, so I still need 3 slots. But anyway, so first thing is I need Gur. Gur is a Moon Arcana Persona. I actually don't have any Moon Arcana Personas at all, mainly because we haven't started the Moon Link yet. So I'm going to need to go and make Gur. So hang on for a minute while I look up Eagle's Index. So the easiest way to make Gur is Fornius or Angel and Ghoul. Now I don't have Ghoul, but I'm going to go ahead and make it because I actually need Ghoul later. So, Ghoul is the lowest level Death Persona. So in order to get Ghoul, I can fuse, I believe it is Nekomata and... I've lost track of what I was doing. Nekomata plus Nihimitama. Or Mithra, but Mithra's a lot more expensive. So, let's see. Nekomata, about 5,000 yen, that's fine. So Nekomata and Nihimitama, which would be in Temperance, I think. Which is actually quite low down on the list. Yeah, there's Nihimitama. Somewhat expensive, but we'll be getting a lot of money into Tartarus anyway. So, with this, we can make Ghoul. Who, like I said, I do need later. Yeah, again, I don't care about skills here. Mamudo is going to be your first learned skill, which is pretty nice. So, here is... I love the way the protagonist says this thing. Here is Ghoul! I can't do it, but... He says it almost like a... Wow! Never seen that before. He says ghoul almost like a Yu-Gi-Oh character for some reason. Dekaja's alright. Just didn't get this earlier because I didn't really need a... Well, you never need a Death Arcana persona, so... And that, I believe, is something that we already have, yeah. Just checking. So with Ghoul, I can combine Ghoul and Fornius to get Gur. And Fornius is relatively cheap, I think. And I might as well register Ghoul before I fuse him away. In fact, it might be in my bet... you know what? I could pass down some okay skills through Ghoul. Because, yeah, I'll have to resummon Ghoul through the Compendium later to fuse something else, but... So, we need to go down to Emperor, and... Fornius is pretty cheap. So, Fornius and Ghoul will get us Gur. Which is kind of an interesting... I don't know, I've always found it a weird name for a persona, but... Okay, so yeah, so Fornius and Ghoul is Gur, and the reason why I haven't done this yet is because we don't have the Moon social link yet. So as you can see, no social link for Moon, so no bonuses. But I kind of want to get this done today anyway. At least this will give us a matching persona for Moon once we do start that. And yeah, now that I actually see Ghoul, I recognize it. You see these as enemies quite often in Digital Devil Saga. And yeah, no Moon social link, so nothing. So now we have Gur, we already have Ragda, so that's two parts of this. We now need Taraka and Vetala, both of which I have in the Compendium, so I'll just have to get those out. I've got to remember to register Gur. And now, you know what, have I accepted the Create Girimehkala request? Yes, I have. Okay, so. I already have you. And Vetala is all the way down here in Devil. Kind of expensive. Let's get that, and then let's also, I believe, Taraka is, I forgot what Taraka was. Oh, I think it's, yeah, it's Hermit. And that's very expensive, especially just for a random shuffle time one. It's actually got some pretty good skills if you level it up. I did fuse one at one attempt at one point. So, just to show what the mythology is behind some of these, Taraka is a female Rakshasa in Hindu myth. And if we go down here, we know what Vetala is. It's an evil spirit from Hindu and Buddhist myth that takes the form of an elephant and eats people. And Gur is a demonic bird from Sri Lankan myth. Now, that's significant. Because with these four... So yes, Igor comments, that means we have the right materials. We can now make Girimehkala out of these four. Actually, Revolutions, actually, this is not a bad skill set. Now, Girimehkala is Moon, so I'm not going to get any bonus experience here, but, yeah, this is actually not a bad set of skills, actually. Not really inheriting much from you, but I like the fact that you're getting Revolution. So, let's go. I'm not going to skip the animation this time. Now, I don't know if 4-way or 5-way fusions can be accidents. I really hope not, because it takes a lot of effort to actually get them. There we go, and anybody who has played or has any knowledge of Digital Devil Saga probably loathes this thing with an absolute passion. Well, anyone who's actually fought the bonus boss. And we're not going to be seeing its belly smack animation, which I always love, but also dread, because, yeah. So for those of you who don't know, that thing is part of the notoriously hard bonus boss fight against the Demi-Fiend. And it likes to spam Mamudo on you, and you're not allowed to have any immunities to instant death in that fight, otherwise the Demi-Fiend kills you, so that is always irritating. It also likes to Dekunda your debuffs, and Dekaja your buffs. So with this, we get something special. We're now able to create a different persona, Nebiros. Now, normally, if you know about the history of Nebiros in the series, you'd think that it's required to fuse another persona that I probably shouldn't talk about yet, because I don't want to spoil it, but it actually isn't. So I'm going to go ahead and register you. And I actually just want to show Girimehkala in the compendium, because it's kind of interesting. So yes, this is also from Sri Lankan mythology. And it is the mount of the evil one Mara. People who are familiar with the series will know all too well who that is. And it doesn't say so here, but it's theorized that Girimehkala might be a demonization of Ganesha. But with that, we now have access to another fusion request. If I can find it. Where is it? There it is. So it's to create Daisorjaw. Now, this also requires this is actually a 5-way fusion. We're a little too low level to make Daisorjaw at this point. We're actually not quite at its level, we're almost there though. And once we are, I really want to make that because it's amazing. But for now, let me just see how much of the compendium. 44%, that's very nice actually. For now, we're actually done. And I actually want to go ahead and accept the old document request now because we're going to be completing that soon. And we might as well get this out of the way. I kind of want to keep Girimehkala on me at this point because I am going to need a moon persona relatively soon. Okay, Lacus, this is new. I could actually do that at some point now that I think about it. Also, Kaiwan is new. I don't actually need, I'm going to be needing Star relatively soon as well. In fact, I don't need Moon that soon. And I don't need Samael at all. Actually, yeah, I might want to think about that. Kaiwan or Lachesis may be pretty useful to me. Especially since, yeah, like I said, I don't actually need Samael. Now, I was actually considering getting Succubus out of the compendium. Succubus would be quite useful for the upcoming boss fight, but I have tested and I don't actually really need it. Because I have Okuninushi, which is pretty much the same thing. Basically, for this next upcoming boss fight. So, this next boss fight, if you're prepared and are decently leveled, I'm at around 45, that's pretty good because this next boss is level 50. If you're decently leveled and prepared, this next boss is not that big of an issue. But if you aren't, the phrase painful death was invented to describe this boss fight. So, let's prepare. Firstly, Okuninushi, I'm going to really want Okuninushi. Because this boss likes to use very powerful fire attacks, and it also has Hammer on. So, Okuninushi, immune to fire, strong against light. Excellent. Succubus kind of helps as well, but only if it's learned the Null Light skill. If not, just don't even bother. Now, additionally, I also need to get Rugda back. Hang on a minute while I do that. Because Rugda's actually really, really important to my strategy. Because it resists fire and has revolution. Actually, let me just check something. You have revolution, do you? I bet you don't resist fire. Repels slash, though, which is pretty nice. But yeah, resisting fire and having revolution is kind of what I want here. Although, in all honesty, do I really need that? I do have something else with revolution on me at the moment. I do like the fire resistance, but I'm going to switch over to a fire immune persona immediately after. I guess that does help. It's a lot of money, though. But it does help. But I do have dodge fire accessories. You know what? I'm going to live dangerously and not do that. Hopefully, on the turns that I need to use revolution, it does not use Argidyne. So, this could potentially end very, very badly. So, it uses fire and light. As a result, Junpei is pretty much going to be MVP here. He is weak to light, and thankfully, he's in great condition. So yeah, his dialogue's different here. So I'm going to add him to the party. His fire resistance and physical attacks are going to be really useful here. Now, as much as Koromaru sounds useful with his fire immunity, he is weak to light, and you do not want to be giving this boss 1-mors. So firstly, I'm going to go ahead and... Oh yeah, Junpei apparently changed his stuff. Now normally, I'd think that he'd change it to something that's worse, but actually this was better than what he had before. Though I would like to give him the gigantic armor. Especially that plus 30 HP. And... I guess I don't really need... I found a couple of these when exploring Tartarus before. But I don't really need the evasion on him as much, because he's the one that's actually resistant to fire. And his weapon seems fine. Now, resistance to light, Ken, so that's going to be useful here. He's also going to be a good healer. And I'm just going to check his equipment for a second. I might want to also give him the gigantic armor, just because being the healer, it's important that he stays alive. I'm going to go ahead with Reduced Stumble. And you are getting a Flame Charm. And now I need to actually add you to the party. Really wish you could equip people off of the menu like you could in P4. Now, Akihiko is actually useful here for his debuffs, but Shinjiro is in great condition and I might want to use him here. My strategy here is going to be to try and go for criticals with Revolution. It's a strategy that doesn't always work, but when it does, it's pretty amazing. And I'm going to give you the Needle Shoes. And I'm going to give you a Flame Charm. And you are going to join the party. Got to make the best use of his great condition after all. And now, since I have a persona that I'm going to use at one point in the fight that is not resistant or immune to fire, yeah, I've already put the Flame Charm on him, so that's fine. I suppose... Oh, hey, another Evade Fire, that's nice too. Actually, those should stay on Ken. Don't worry, those engineer boots won't stay here for long, but also Titania's Mediarama is going to be helpful as well. I actually really like the double fire dodge on Ken. Just because he's pretty much going to be the main healer here. And we're going to equip those Needle Shoes. And with that, we're basically ready. So, like I said, Akihiko is definitely an option here, because his debuffs are really helpful. Basically, what I like to think of this as, Akihiko is the safer option, Shinjiro is the more offensive option. So, I'm going to try for Shinjiro here, just for double the chances of criticals with Revolution, but definitely going to save right now. So, it's about to happen. That thing. No putting it off any longer. So, this fight may not be that bad, depending, but remember that I actually had to spend 4 to 5 hours grinding just for this fight. If you're lower level than this, you are going to die very, very horribly, so... yeah, just remember that. This is the first time that I've had to specifically grind for a boss in a very long time. And there it is. That thing right there. Charge! I'll get stopped by Fuku immediately. Okay, let's go. This thing.
It seems like it's exceptionally strong. Its Arcana is the magician.
Fuka is not kidding at all. This is the Sleeping Table, the bane of everyone who plays this game.
Give me a sec. I'll scan the target.
By far one of the most infamous Tartarus bosses in the whole game, if not the most infamous. Okay, so, time to get my strategy going. Girimehkala does not resist fire. That is probably going to be a very bad thing. But I want to set up Revolution as soon as I can. Now, I'm also going to set... okay, let's see. Don't really need to set Shinjiro on full assault. That hopefully doesn't come back to haunt me. At the moment, I'm going to keep everyone on Act Freely. If I had Akihiko here, I'd immediately put him on heal support. This might be useful too, actually, but... don't want to stay in too long with a persona that's not immune to fire. So, time for the Revolution again! And hey, there's the belly slap. So, there's Hammer on. Okay, good thing it missed. And it's immune to strike. So, this thing is immune to strike and resistant to slash and pierce. Those are the only two physical attacks that work. But it is susceptible to being critical, so that's why I'm going to set up Revolution here. It takes a lot of damage from all-out attacks, but the main bad thing about this boss is its moveset. Every single thingy, whatever, every single thing on its moveset is terrible. Everything. No exceptions. The first is Miragidyne, and I think TV Tropes That One Boss page sums it up very well with this quote. You know it's bad when getting hit with Miragidyne is considered a breather. Yes, this is the least bad thing this boss can do, hitting you with the most powerful fire spell in the game that hits your entire party. It also has Megadola, at a point where we're only having access to Megado. Medium tier or mighty damage, pierces magic mirror, cannot be resisted by anything. Does about 150 to 160 damage to your entire party at once. And that's if you're properly leveled. So that's terrifying. Hammer on, high chance of instant death. That is also terrifying. Evil Touch combined with Fear Boost means you have a very, very high chance of being inflicted with fear whenever it wants you to be. It will follow that up with Ghastly Wail, which is instant death to everyone with fear. So yeah, this boss is pretty bad all round. One saving grace is that it's only resistant to fire, not immune or drained to fire. So magic mirrors can actually work decently well.
Alright, let's kick some ass.
Against Miragidyne. But that's the only thing magic mirrors will help you against. And yeah, Megadola exists, which pierces them. But anyway, let's do this. This thing deserves it. Smash it to pieces! Please do a lot of damage. Oh yeah, that was a lot of damage. So as you can see, Revolution is really helpful, especially if you have party members in great status, but this thing is absolutely terrifying, and I hate it. I hate it with a passion. So, Okuninushi, immune to fire, that's going to be useful here. I'm also going to go ahead and set up Matarukaja, which is also a great skill to have in this fight. Buffs and debuffs, use them. You will need them for this boss. Now, if we get okay, there's Hamon again. Can Shinjiro take 2? Oh, wow, he did take 2, okay. Getting very lucky in this fight. Wow, really lucky in this fight.
Here's a chance. Let's get
Now, you know what? Matarukaja could kill this thing. And if I... Oh my god, I might have actually killed this thing. What the... Okay, so that's what happens when Revolution is really successful. Oh, wow. Okay, that... I'm gonna have to show another attempt of that fight just to show what that thing can do, because... We didn't take any damage! We just beat the sleeping table without taking any damage whatsoever! I love Revolution! Revolution is so good! It's amazing! Oh, that is... You have no idea how happy I am right now. That just... Seriously, killing the sleeping table like that... It never did any damage! Wow! Oh, yeah, that was amazing. And Okuninushi levels up from that. And learns Fire Break, which actually would be... make that thing even more of a joke than I made it. Okay, so, okay, let me just say this. That boss, just take my word for it, that boss is very hard. Yeah, the only damage that we took was from our own attacks. Our own physical attacks, but yeah. 2 Balms of Life. I had to use many of those in practice attempts, and a Soma. Very, very useful in that fight, so yeah. So, I'm gonna go back and save, but not over my previous slot, because I'm actually gonna go and attempt that boss again, just to show you how bad it is, because trust me when I say, that boss is hard. Like, I made it look really easy. That was pretty much on accident. I mean, I just... See, Revolution is weird. When you get lucky, Revolution is amazing, but when you get unlucky, it's not that great. I've had attempts where Revolution did nothing in that fight. But that was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah, sleeping table. You just got flipped! Oh yeah, that is so satisfying. So, gonna save now, but I'm gonna go back and cut to, I'm gonna just go in and deliberately try and do badly just to show you just how quickly this thing can kill you. So, I'll be right back. So, hello, this is the part where sleeping table kills us, hopefully. Let's just see how this goes.
Here goes.
And that's... yeah, this is why you always scan bosses,
Light attacks are useless.
as they are against every single boss in this game.
Lost.
And no.
Physical attacks are out.
So, that's Megadola. That hurts a lot.
That one just won't die.
As you can see, that is extremely painful. This is why I like having my diorama. Okay, so now you're going to be actually using attacks that work.
Ready for this? My next strike will be the last.
There's Megadola again. So, yeah, notice that's 160 to 170 damage on everyone. That is with us at level 45. I, like, originally did an attempt of this fight at a lower level than this, and yeah, like, we were taking 200 damage, and we just died completely. It wasn't pretty.
Oh, crap.
I don't really care what you do. Okay, so there's Hammer on. Maybe it'll actually... well, it's on Ken, so not going to work. This is why it's a good idea to bring Ken here.
That one just won't die.
Listen. Oh, crap.
As long as you're decently leveled and just keep slowly whittling it down, it's not really that bad, but you need to have some good method of healing. Okay, here's Evil Touch. And, oh, it missed, okay. It's pretty likely to hit overall, but that was actually quite lucky.
That one just won't die.
Notice how we're not actually criticalling it without Revolution, though. So Revolution is pretty important. Now, I might actually want to take this time to show something. So, originally, I thought that because the Gaybolg is Wind Element, that maybe it's not powered up by Power Charge, it's powered up by Mind Charge. Turns out that's actually not true. I can show you. So I'll do Power Charge. Just gonna demo this because it's something that's kind of important to show. And like Ken has never healed in this battle at all.
Please help me.
I haven't said use Miraculous yet. And I don't really care what you do. Okay, there's Miraculous. Yeah, that is incredibly painful as well. Roughly the same damage as Megadola, just things can actually resist it.
Shinjiro-senpai is badly hurt.
So, here's what Power Charge normal attack looks like. See, that's actually very, very strong.
Hang in there.
Yeah, hang in there, me. And there's Miraculous again.
Someone please help Shinjiro-senpai.
So, Junpei, as you can see, is really useful here. None of the fire dodge accessories seem to have worked, which is kind of annoying. Okay, I'm already on Kuninushi. Now, I want to just see if I can try something. So, magic mirrors do work on Miraculous, and it isn't immune to its own Miraculous. It is...
Hang in there.
However, yeah, gonna use Megadola. And there's Megadola. I think Shinjiro's gonna die. Yes, he is.
Shinjiro-senpai is unconscious.
Damn. Couldn't finish it up.
I mean, I might actually be able to finish it. There we go. So, yeah, that's what happens when you aren't prepared for this boss. It hits extremely hard. You want to keep healed. Whenever it hits you with Megadola, it's a good idea to try and heal. Because otherwise, you'll just be, yeah. Look at everyone collapse on the ground there. Okay, I'm gonna go with Mitsuru, Aigis, and Koromaru here. These are the 3 lowest level party members who are not Yukari. Normally I bring Yukari here, except she's 6, that's a problem. Now, how was that Aigis? I was right next to Koromaru. Anyway, so I did buy a better weapon for him. So I'm gonna go ahead and give that... Oh, that's actually a considerably better weapon. And I think that's the best dog suit that he's got. Okay, so also, I guess I might wait to give her... Because I might actually be able to show the new outfit that I bought for her. I'm going to wait until I actually go in. So, just a few more floors and then we can get the old document, and then we can head back. Probably not going to do very much here unless we run into any rare chests or anything. So, right. I guess I can show this. It's actually a bit worse than what we currently have. But it's an alternate costume. Wonder if she has any reaction to this. Okay, nothing in particular. So yeah, now we can have Aigis in the outfit she was wearing at Yakushima. And it looks so weird with a giant gun for an arm. Yeah, that's... that's pretty dissonant looking. Okay, now I promised that... Okay, I had Gayborg on just because that boss is evil and needs to die. But for now, I might actually just go to... I could use the Fist of Fury. Or, yeah, I'll go back to the Sexy Lance. This is technically making us worse than we were before, but... I think that power on the Gayborg's a little cheap for this point in the game, so I'm going to stop using it. Again, I mainly use it for the sleeping table because it's evil and deserves it. Speaking of which, the sleeping table was so infamous that it actually showed up in Persona 4 as a mini-boss in the final dungeon. And get this, its skill set was not actually changed very much at all. It was pretty much the exact same move. So yeah, final dungeon mini-boss. That's how bad it was. So I'm not really going to make much of an active attempt to fight enemies here. I do have Mazinga Monga. Just the single target spell is one below the multi-target spell.
Now's your chance.
But yeah, gonna maybe try and fight some enemies, but not really all that much. I've already done a lot of grinding, and I can probably do the rest of the very slight amount of grinding that I need off screen. I don't think we'll need to grind more for the next bosses. The next bosses are actually level 46, so they're actually lower than the sleeping table. And if you approach them right, they're not that bad. I just spoiled that, anyway. Guess it's not too much of a spoiler. But yeah, we should be right for the next full moon at this point. Might as well get you. And I'm going to have to get the other one as well, because it's going to be blocking my escape route. At least you can see Aigis in the armor here.
There are 2 of them. Attack!
Seeing her arm go all robotic like that in that outfit actually does look pretty weird. And I'm just going to sweep through these things.
You found the enemy's weakness.
The enemy's down. Let's finish them. You'll fall by my hand.
That was too easy.
Okay, I know that I could technically fuse that, but that's actually something that I don't have. I might want to pick that up. Core Mokuten. Is that still strength? Let me just check. No, it's Chariot. Okay, yeah, I pretty much don't need Chariot at this point because I've already got that link maxed out, essentially. Weak to fire, though, strong against strike. I kind of have better at this point, actually. Of course, with my high Chariot link, I could probably fuse a better one of these, but... yeah, it's another one of the 4 Heavenly Kings as well. Yeah, my Narasima is actually better. And I need strength for a social link. I don't actually need Chariot anymore, like I said. Hello there, Small Shadow. Weird hitbox. Weird hitbox. Still find it really funny how I basically never used spears in my first playthrough, but now I am really loving spears. The wind-up behind them isn't actually that slow. I was hoping for a dodge there.
Proceeding.
The wind-up isn't that slow, and they have a pretty wide area. And I don't know if I am able to show this or not. Oh, speaking of showing stuff, here's Koromaru's new weapon. Don't know if you can get a good look at it there. You can get a good look at it now. Yeah, it actually looks a little bit cruel. I kind of don't like him wearing stuff like that, but it is a mask with a scythe on it, which is interesting. I kind of like how, like, all of the different weapon types that the party members have, there are different variations on them. They don't all look exactly the same. Like, the two-handed swords, some of them are katanas, some of them are big long swords. The spears, some of them look like naginatas. For the one-handed swords, some are rapiers, some are just regular short swords. I guess has a whole variety of different weapons that she has. It's actually pretty cool, and it prevents things from getting too boring from, you know, characters always looking the same in battle. So yeah, for Koromaru, he's got these masks in addition to knives. And also the bone. I guess I should probably show off the bone at some point. It's not really that worth it. In Vanilla P3, the joke weapons all had... I know I've said this before, but the joke weapons all had special effects attached to them. Not in this version.
There are 3 enemies.
You know what?
Be careful.
I was gonna say I could just King Frost this, but, well, I suppose I could... Do you have Mabufu at all? You actually don't. Oh well, I'll just have to bufu you all individually. I can at least show off... Wrong Frost. I can at least show off Black Frost. Oh yeah, something that I actually forgot to mention before. So, in Japanese, so Black Frost is an example of a very lucky translation. In Japanese, Black Frost is Ja-Aku Frost, and Aku is Japanese for evil. So, by only changing very slightly one of the syllables in the name Jack Frost,
The enemy's down. Let's finish this.
you can basically put another word in there. So yeah, the English version had a very lucky translation here with Black Frost, which fits its appearance, so that's actually pretty cool. I like that. And even these 6 experience cards are not giving us that much. And hey, I guess I picked the right... You know, I'm going to check the other path anyway, just in case there's a rare chest that way. You are going to... I think that's... Okay, it wasn't a rare chest, but it was a normal chest. I don't know what determines whether they just stay in corridors like that, or whether they actually actively pursue you, but...
There are 3 enemies. Be careful.
Yeah, sadly, I have a better ice user at this point. I just can't stress enough how much better Black Frost is in P4. In P4, Black Frost is ridiculous if you confuse it. And the point in the game where you get it is a point where having a really good persona is actually quite helpful. Wow, you are one evasive tiara.
Target locked.
But I guess destroyed you.
Efficiently executed.
Yeah, that robotic finger looks kind of weird with that outfit. Yeah, I guess that's the, that's where you use the term Uncanny Valley, I guess. It's kind of strange. This is going to be a weird tangent, but I find that terms... It seems like that it's sort of mutated to a point where it just means anything creepy looking, when what it was originally supposed to mean was something that looks almost human-like, but just not to the point where it becomes really creepy. And hey, we're in the... This is what the, like, barricades look like in this floor, which actually look really cool. Although, weirdly enough, I'm getting a real Catherine vibe from the outside here. Is anyone else? This looks like it could be a Catherine stage. But anyway, here we have the next old document, and we have the barricade here. Yeah, I really like how the barricade looks on these floors. It's just... I like this floor in general. It's a lot darker, I mean, a lot less dark than the rest of Tartarus, and it's just... I love the gold look. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and read that old document now, so I don't forget to. Should be number 6. I knew it. These shadows arise due to human emotion. If I'm right, collecting them will... Okay, that's the first we're seeing of that. So, technically speaking, we haven't actually found out what... I don't know why... Oh, okay. I pressed return. I thought I pressed stay. So, technically speaking, we haven't actually found out in story what shadows are yet, but I guess it's pretty obvious at this point, considering the symbolism that I've talked about in the full moon bosses. I always thought that you got told what they were at Yakushima, but I guess I was wrong about that. Basically, shadows are, in some ways, a lot like Heartless in the Kingdom Hearts series. They arise due to the darker, suppressed sides of human emotions. And so, we have this old document. Yes, we're uncovering hidden truths. Hidden truths that we don't have to buy a DLC for. Okay, well, admittedly, I actually like hidden truths, but yeah. Couldn't resist saying that. Yeah, I mean, what does the world look from Elizabeth's eyes? That, I mean, though I'm pretty sure if a normal human tried to do that, they'd probably go insane. Anyway. 5 beads, which is an alright reward. And I suppose I can register all of these? Yeah, the Kormokuten that I just got is not on the list here. And I need to accept this right now, otherwise I'm probably going to forget it at some point. So, bring me oil. I think it's pretty obvious who we need to talk to for this one. And 3 magic mirrors is nice. So with that... Okay, I'll just say this. I never went for these side quests in my first playthrough. And so this is the first time that I'm actually going for these. I am really learning to hate these side quests so much. These are just so annoying. Anyway, quest we have left. That we still can't do. We still can't do this one. This one, we'll actually be able to do in a couple of levels. And that should be everything. I think we've taken care of every quest that had a deadline, except for this one. So that's cool. I still hate these quests so much. Guess they don't have a deadline, but still, they're just so frustrating. Anyway, we might actually be able to take care of that. You know what, actually? No, I actually don't think so. So, like, while we can technically unlock that persona soon, it's about the level where, yeah, I think we wouldn't be able to get it until the full moon after the next one. So, probably not going to be able to do that. But, I can check what I can fuse with this. Oh, actually, we can make Nebiros now. I do need to keep Kingu for the Emperor Social Link, though, which is a problem. But, Actually, I remember looking up Nebiros and Igor's Index and realizing that it's actually one of the best things that I can get at this point that has Ghastly Whale. Also, fun fact about Ghastly Whale. Everything that learns Ghastly Whale is weak to light. That's, yeah, kind of interesting. I found that by searching on Igor's Index, but yeah. They're not all Death Arcana, as you can see. Most of them are Death Arcana, but not all of them. But yeah, they are all weak to light. And, how much is Kingu gonna cost to get back? Probably quite a bit of money. I technically don't need Girimehkala as well. Oh yeah, that's it, I was gonna get Kaiwan. Which I might need eventually. It actually might not be a bad idea to get Kaiwan, actually, now that I think about it. Won't be able to get its first skill, though. And we can get Lachesis. Hey, we can get that Fire Emblem 4 character who promotes to a ridiculously good class. Who somehow managed to get Strength screwed on my first playthrough, despite Strength being her only good growth rate. I have no idea how that happened. But yeah, as you can see, I can make a far better Kormokuten here. I still need Pravati. And I actually don't need Black Frost, but... I would kind of like... Oh, we can get Throne. Kind of getting distracted a lot here, but yeah. Throne is one of the higher level Justice Personas. I really like how this one looks. It's actually incredibly cool. And Hammer Boost, Hammer On, and Mahammer On is actually pretty amazing. But... Actually... I mean, not so much Power Charge, but those are some pretty decent skills to get on it. How did I get Dominion? Oh yeah, there's Dominion. Dominion is fairly decent too, although now that I actually can get Throne, I should probably go for Throne. But... I might go for Kaiwan here. I don't need Samael at all. Actually, Revolution is good. Evil Smile plus Stagnant Air is pretty good as well, as is Evil Smile, Stagnant Air plus Poison Mist. Evade, Pierce, Spirit Drain. Actually, Virus Breath is basically a better version of Poison Mist, so... I mean, both have a chance of poison, but Virus Breath does damage even if it doesn't poison. So I'm going to get Kaiwan. Kaiwan does this little turn thing. I don't know, Kaiwan looks kind of... And that looks kind of scary. As scary as it looks, though, looking up its mythology, Kaiwan is actually a good being in mythology, which kind of surprised me when I first saw it, but it is. And that would be Star Arcana, which we will be needing relatively soon. Oh yeah, hi there! I had the opportunity to show this earlier, but I forgot to, but let me just say this. This is the lowest level Aeon Arcana persona, by the way. Yeah. Lowest level Aeon. That should tell you something. And, Girimehkala is the next one that I need for... A little bit off of that in terms of levels, but, that's for Arahabaki. That's the only one that I don't have for Arahabaki, actually. Okay, Throne... as cool as Throne is. I might want to get Nebiros. Null Poison, huh. Windbreak, Virus Breath... Not really sure if those skills are that useful on it. Evade Fire. I mean, really, I don't care about this thing's inheritance apart from Ghastly Whale, so let's just go for this. Now, I'm not actually going to use the Ghastly Whale strategy in the next boss fights in, like, in the serious attempt, but I'm going to show it in bonus footage, and now you know why we had to get that weird puppet thing in order to summon this. No thank you. There's the skill that we want. All we need is the skill itself. Okay, there's Mudorn, but there are better things than Mudorn. Fear Boost combined with Ghastly Whale is pretty good, though. Oh, there's Stagnant Air, which is also kind of useful combined with Fear Boost and Evil Smile. Dekaja is... It's kind of funny. Dekaja is actually not all that amazing in this game. Neither is Poison, so I'm going to get rid of Null Poison. In some games, Dekaja is amazing, like Digital Devil Psyker. But in this one, there aren't that many bosses that use really threatening buffs. So we have Nebiros now. And with it, we can... actually get quite a few good things, but for now, I need to go buy back Kingu before I forget. Don't know if this will be the last fusion session before... Okay, I'll need to register this stuff. Before the next full moon. I think I'm going to go into Tartarus at least once more. Main reason being... trying to complete that stupid... Okay, well here's the thing. I wanted Kingu just for a matching Emperor persona. Now that I have fused it, and it's going to be a waste of money to get it back, so I'm just going to go and buy Forniest. It's might be my first time actually doing this, but if ever you just desperately need a matching persona for a social link, and you don't have much money, just go ahead and buy the cheapest one. It's always a good idea to register the cheapest one in the compendium, just so you can easily get it out when you need to. And I just want to see that if I can do anything else here. Because Throne is tempting, that would require me to buy back Parvati and Kaiwan. And at this point, personas are getting pretty expensive. I think for now, I might just leave. I might see if later on I can pick up some free personas in Shuffle Time and use those to fuse Throne. That might be quite good. But that's pretty much all I can do. Well, I mean, not really all I can do. I could go back in and try and look for that chest. I might want to save that until Yukari's not sick, though. Like I said, I'm pretty much set when it comes to grinding, but... I would like to just try and even out the levels on the remaining characters, and also try and get that gold chest. But for now, I think we're pretty much done here. So next time, we're going to be going back into social linking, and very soon, we're going to be maxing some more social links. So look forward to that.